Hello guys and welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video. And in this video, I will be talking about the character Koko Hajime. And this video is going to contain manga spoilers from Tokyo Revengers. So Koko Hajime is the elite guard captain of the 10th generation of the Black Dragons gang. But after the Black Dragons were disbanded, Koko became a member of the 1st division of the Tokyo Manji gang. And during an alternate future timeline during the Valhalla arc, Koko was a top admin of the Tokyo Manji gang. And during the Tenjuku arc, Koko became the treasurer of Tenjuku gang. But after Tenjuku gang was defeated, Koko became a higher-up of the Kanto Manji gang. And in an alternate future timeline during the Banten arc, Koko Hajime became an executive of Banten gang. And in the final timeline of Tokyo Revengers, Koko is a member of the 7th division of the Tokyo Manji gang. Koko is a very intelligent person, and during his time as a delinquent he gained a very famous reputation as a money-making genius. And when he was a child, Koko was best friends with Inui, and Koko would always walk to school with Inui and Akane. And Akane is Inui's older sister, and Koko was in love with Akane, and Koko would always offer to carry her bags. And whenever Koko got a compliment from her it would make him very happy. And one day Koko was studying in the library with Akane, and he noticed that she had fallen asleep. And Koko tried to take the opportunity to kiss Akane, however Akane told him to stop, and she also told him that he should only kiss the person he likes. And after walking her home, Koko professed his love to Akane, and he told her that they should get married, and he also said that he will protect her for the rest of her life. Akane was blushing, and she asked Koko if he would make a promise, and Koko promised Akane that he would always protect her. And Akane told Koko that in that case, she will wait for him until they are all grown up. However, Koko would soon realize that he would never be able to keep this promise, because later that day he would find out that there was a house fire at Inui's house. And when Koko arrived at Inui's house, he saw that a massive fire had completely engulfed the house, and he was watching in horror of this disaster. And Koko immediately became very worried about Akane. And Koko immediately ran into the burning building with no hesitation, and even at a young age we saw that Koko had the courage to risk his life to save Akane. However, Koko was too late to save Akane, and Koko was only able to save Inui. However, at first, Koko thought that he was able to save Akane, however Koko was shocked when he realized that the person he saved was actually Inui. And Inui told Koko that his parents don't have enough money to save Akane, however Koko is still determined to keep his promise to Akane. And after finding out that it will take 40 million yen to save Akane, we can see that Koko is absolutely devastated, and in this moment Koko declared that he will make enough money to save Akane even if it kills him. And ever since that day, Koko has been obsessed with learning how to make money, and he spent countless hours searching for lucrative crimes that would allow him to save Akane. And Koko realized that since he is still a minor, the only way for him to save Akane was to start committing theft and extortion. And one day Koko gathered a gang of thieves together, and Koko came up with many successful plans. And Koko started counterfeiting credit cards, and he also started visiting clubrooms in order to network with very wealthy criminals. And Koko came up with the idea to create a crime-committing service, and he would provide this service to his rich clients. And with this service Koko finally found a method that would allow him to make enough money to save Akane. However, after finding out about the death of Akane, we can see that Koko is absolutely devastated. And the reason why this panel is showing us his face in the future is because it was this death that shaped Koko into the person who he is today. And ever since that day, Koko always carried the guilt, anger, and regret of failing to keep his promise to Akane. And after hearing about the death of Akane, Koko immediately rushed to the hospital, and in this heartbreaking moment we get to see Koko apologizing to Akane's dead body. And after failing to save Akane, Koko learned the life-changing lesson that money is the only thing that matters. And one day Koko was studying in the library, and Koko was reading books about how to make money. And Koko saw that Inui was sleeping on the windowsill, and Koko went to kiss Inui on the lips, but then Koko fell down to his knees. And Koko was crying, and he was also calling out to Akane. And this kissing scene is a callback to the scene in the library where Akane told Koko to only kiss the person that he likes. And the next time we saw Koko was when he was picking up Inui from the juvenile detention center. And during this time Koko met up with Inui, and he helped Inui revive the Black Dragons by introducing him to Taiju Shiba. And Koko even joined the Black Dragons in order to help Inui. And by this time Koko had become a full-fledged professional at making money, and he wielded this power for the benefit of many gangs. And while he was a member of the Black Dragons, Koko was having a private conversation with Inui, and Inui asked Koko what he is going to do, and Koko told Inui that he is sticking with him. And Inui asked Koko if it is because of the promise he made to Akane. However, in this moment Koko said that he already forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And after Taiju was defeated, Koko and Inui both became members of the Tokyo Manji gang. Koko and Inui both wanted to serve under Takemichi, and so Mikey decided to honor this decision by assigning them to the first division of Toman. And Koko would next appear during an alternate future timeline during the Tenjuku arc, and this was when he was working for Izana. And Koko came to arrest Taiju and Takemichi, however during this time Koko was just following the orders of Izana. And during the Tenjuku arc, we saw that Koko got captured by Yasuhiro Muto, and Koko joined Tenjuku in order to save Takemichi and Inui. And during the Battle of Tenjuku, Koko appeared as a member of Tenjuku, and Koko fought against Inui. And Koko tried to get Inui to join Tenjuku, and Koko even prepared a high-ranking position for Inui so that he would be safe. However, Inui declined the offer to join Tenjuku, and Inui told Koko that he has already resolved himself to follow Takemichi Hanagaki. And this resulted in Koko fighting against Inui, and during this battle both of the characters were on equal footing. And after the battle was over we saw that Tenjuku was disbanded, and at the end of the arc Koko was seen walking through the snow in the Tenjuku uniform. And after the Tenjuku arc, we would finally see Koko part ways with Inui, and during this scene they would say their final goodbyes. And even though they are going down two different paths, Koko and Inui still genuinely care about each other, and they are both coping with their trauma in two different ways. And while Inui was obsessed with rebuilding the Black Dragons, Koko was obsessed with making money as a way of coping with the death of Akane. Koko and Inui have a very complex dynamic, and their relationship is defined by an unhealthy trauma that stems from the same event. And after parting ways with Inui, Koko became a member of the Kanto Manji gang, and this means that Koko has decided to follow the invincible Mikey. And during the battle of the three deities, Koko was shown staying by Mikey's side, and Koko arrived with Mikey on the battlefield. And Koko tried to de-escalate the battle, and while Mikey was beating up Takemichi, we saw that Koko tried to save Takemichi from Mikey. And after the battle was over, Koko carried Takemichi on his back to Inui's bike shop, and after showing up at the bike shop, Koko told Inui to bring Takemichi to the hospital. And Koko actually saved Takemichi's life by carrying him to the hospital, and this shows us that he really cares about Takemichi. And Koko announced that the age of the three deities is over, and then Koko declared that from this day onward, it will be the age of Manjiro Sano. And Koko said that the Kanto Manji gang is now the #1 gang in Japan. But then Koko started smiling at Inui, and Koko told Inui that he chose a good person to follow. And this moment is also showing us that Koko really trusts Takemichi to look after Inui. And Koko also went to go visit Takemichi in the hospital after he regained consciousness, and Koko gave Takemichi a friendly warning. And when Koko was at the hideout of the Kanto Manji gang, we saw that he was informing Mikey about the declaration of war that was made by Takemichi. And right before the final battle, we saw that Koko was marching alongside his gang. And during this battle, Inui tried to confront Koko, and after defeating many delinquents Inui finally came face to face with Koko. But Koko wanted nothing to do with this confrontation, and Koko told Inui that he is very annoying. However, Inui was not going to let Koko get away, and this is when Wakasa interfered with their battle. And Wakasa and Benkei both confronted Inui, and for a long time Koko was just watching this battle. And Koko was having an inner conflict inside of his head, and Koko was thinking to himself that if this happened when they were kids, then he would have definitely jumped in to save Inui. And Koko wondered if that would be too much to ask right now, and he thought to himself that on that day, he chose Akane over Inui. And Koko thought to himself that there is no turning back after this, and he is struggling so much that he is clenching his fists. And Inui is very beaten up, but then Inui suddenly called out to Koko for help, and Inui asked Koko if he is his one true friend. And after hearing this question, Koko started wondering why Inui would ask him for help if they are on opposing sides. And in this moment we can see that Koko immediately started thinking about Akane, and Akane is telling Koko that everything will be fine now. And Akane told Koko that he has done enough already, and Akane also told him to go live his life the way that he wants to. And Akane said thank you to Koko for everything that he has done, and in this moment Koko finally realized that he has been stubborn for all this time. And the reason why Akane appeared in this moment is because Koko finally realized what Akane would have wanted for him, and this made Koko choose his friends over making money. And even during the Tenjuku arc, we could see that Koko was still wondering what Akane would think of him now, and he was questioning if she would be angry at him for the person that he has become. And in this chapter Koko finally finds out the answer to this question, and it is this realization that made Koko betray the Kanto Manji gang, and Koko betrayed this gang in order to save Inupi. And after Koko punched Benkei in the face, we saw that his punch was so powerful that it sent Benkei flying down to the ground. And after punching Benkei, Koko told Inupi that he is quite the handful. However, in this moment we can see that both of the characters are smiling. And Koko declares to everyone that he is leaving the Kanto Manji gang, and Koko has decided to fight alongside Inupi. And Inupi tried to apologize to Koko, however Koko said that he is the one who should be apologizing, and we can see that Koko regrets his decision of hesitating to help Inupi. And then Koko confessed that he always saw Akane when he looked at Inupi, and he could never accept the death of Akane. And Koko also admits the reason why he ran away with making money, and Koko knows that obsessing over money was just his way of coping with the traumatic death that he had experienced at such a young age. And Koko said that Inupi has always chased after him and never abandoned him, and Koko says that he is going to repay Inupi by forgetting about Akane. And Koko decides that he will give himself to Inupi. And Koko declared that they are ride or die friends for each other. And Koko and Inupi both agree that they will go into hell together. And in this moment both of the characters are smiling, and they are very happy to be reunited together. And the other reason why Koko was smiling with Inupi is because he can finally live his life true to Akane. However, this reunion would not last very long, because Wakasa and Benkei would soon defeat Koko and Inupi, and we could see that Wakasa even complimented Koko by saying that he put up a good fight. And we can see that Koko and Inupi are both lying on the ground defeated, and they both lost consciousness. And after losing this battle, they are both very beaten up. And Koko and Inupi would both wake up when Taiju would make his entrance onto the battlefield, and we saw this funny moment where Taiju called Inupi the cat and dog duo. And Koko and Inupi also talked to Senju for a brief moment of time, and this happened during Taiju's battle versus Wakasa and Benkei. And in the final timeline of Tokyo Revengers, the death of Akane never happened, and this means that Koko and Inupi have basically all their character development erased from existence. And during the final timeline, Koko was the elite guard captain of the Black Dragons gang. However, after losing to Toman, he became a member of the 7th division of the Tokyo Manji gang. However, after Toman was disbanded, Koko and Kisaki both teamed up together on a business venture, and they became the two leaders of the Teko group. And Koko and Kisaki both work well together, and they have both become extremely rich. And after Mikey lost his race, we got to see the reaction of Koko and Kisaki, and they were both very angry after realizing that they lost the money. And Koko and Inupi both attended Takemichi's wedding, and we saw that Koko and Inupi both looked very happy while they were celebrating. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the character Koko Hajime. And if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, then like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.